What's up? What's up? What's up, tribe? Sorry I'm late, you guys. Listen. So look, how's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday to you all. Let me get in here. We are going to be talking about Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King did their regular live where they recap Married to Medicine. They did it on last night. And I listened last night and I said, Dr. Heavenly about to get fired because baby, Dr. Heavenly told it. Okay. Dr. Heavenly told it. But I can appreciate that Dr. Heavenly told it because it puts things in perspective. Now, what I am going to say, what's up, Cams? Hey, boo. What I am going to say is to all of the ladies on Married to Medicine, well, no, to all of the OGs, because Sweet Tea and Alicia, it don't matter. Hey, Katrina. Hey, what's up? I'm going to say hi to everybody in a second. To the OGs, to the Dr. Heavenlies, and Dr. Heavenly, to be honest with you, what normally I know people, Dr. Heavenly get bad rap for talking too much or whatever, but I think Dr. Heavenly's doing the right thing, and I'm gonna tell you why. To Exactly, I said the same thing. So Jeff said I just finished the episode and I can tell there was more to the story. Absolutely, there was, but to Toya, especially Toya, to Dr. Simone, Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Jackie. This is what I'm gonna say to y'all. They setting y'all up. Production set y'all up. So let me go through what I need to go through. I'm gonna go through my notes, and then I will drop the link. We're gonna be here for about an hour, okay? Because then we're gonna head on over to El Teddy's house. So we're gonna be here for about an hour. But I'm gonna go through my notes as fast as I can get there, and then I'll drop the link and let y'all come up. Because my question to you is going to be, I have two questions. When I get done going through my notes, I got two questions. My first question is going to be, do you think that Quad's exit was justified? Not the way it happened. Okay, we can argue that it could have happened better. Not the way it happened, but what happened? Do you think it was justified? And my second question to you is, what's up, Star? My second question to you is Married to Medicine in trouble? All right, so let me say hi to the people. I'm gonna go through my notes and then I'm gonna drop the line. What's up, Miss Key? Hey, Anna, Kenya, Citizen Jane. Yeah, I really like Heavenly. Maybe I over-identify, but I'm gonna keep it groovy. If you had me your ass to kiss after I have extended myself, I'm gonna release the dragon. She ain't learned from Nene. Listen, Dr. Heavenly brought up Nene too. Y'all know these. Y'all probably not gonna get enough because I just scheduled it. So maybe you maybe will or won't. What's up, Kurt Vixen? Hey, Angela. Hey, Mary. Natalie. I popped in the car for my ride home. Yes, honey. Hey, Marnie Boo. What's up, little baby? Hey, little baby. I ain't get my candles yet. Child, I'm waiting for my candles. What's up, Ravine? I would. Oh, you would hold this while I'm at work and can't say nothing, child. I know you got stuff to say, honey. What's up, Symmetry? Hey, Dougie Doug, Cross Country Cruiser. I'm curious about Quad. From what I've observed, she seems so centered, but I haven't been watching long. But in an ensemble, there's usually one Tamar. So can someone give me an example? We about to go through. I'm gonna go through my notes and I'll give you a whole example. Hey, Katrina. What's up, Angela? I got both my Angelas. I got two Tracys, two Angelas. Yes. Hey, Sticks, girl. Hey, Boo. Hey, Lamone. Thank you, Boo. Des Hop, Anita, am I saying it right? She should have never come back. Ooh. Hey, Yvette, Nikki. Nikki said Quad's dismissal was justified. Okay. Hey, Renee, Sharice. Okay. I understand, Cans. Cans be working hard. Hey, Mama Mina. Rainy Bow. All right, Brandon. All right, I hope I got everybody below. If I didn't get you, charge it to my head, not my heart, okay? So let me go through my notes. So I'm going to start with Phaedra first. I'm going to start with Phaedra first because there was some information with Phaedra too that I think will put some things in perspective as far as Phaedra is concerned. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not the biggest Phaedra fan. I honestly am not the biggest Phaedra fan. But I think it'll put some things in perspective. Let me go through these notes. So first of all, Carlos, and usually Carlos gets on my nerves, and he was still getting on my nerves last night. But I think some of the questions that he was asking needed to be asked which prompted Dr. Heavenly to say things that maybe she was telling us too much information, but it was information we needed to know, right? Like I said, it might have been what she was supposed to say, but it was what we needed to hear. So I will say that. So Carlos asked her, Dr. Heavenly, about Phaedra. He said, listen, Phaedra is really not giving us nothing. Now, I disagree with that. I disagree that Phaedra's not giving us anything. Phaedra's not giving us any personal life, but Phaedra is doing her job as far as, I mean, she's the one that brought Quad to the bridal shower. If Phaedra had not been on the show, how would they have ushered that in? I think that Phaedra and the whole resurrection ceremony, right? So I don't think Phaedra is not doing anything. However, she's not giving us any personal thing. Right. And Carlos is friends with Quad. And you could tell that some of the questions that Carlos was asking, you could tell he had information from Quad. And again, which made this a good conversation because then he was able to ask the right questions that went straight to certain things. Okay. He said, so y'all didn't ask Phaedra anything about, like, y'all didn't press Phaedra. Y'all didn't make Phaedra give us any information. Y'all didn't make Phaedra tell us anything about what was going on, you know, as far as the Real Housewives, that controversy. And what Dr. Heavenly said was she did talk to Phaedra about that before they started filming. And she basically told her, look, girl, you know you're going to have to talk. You know you're going to have to tell it. You know you're going to have to tell us what's really good. And you're going to have to give us that tea on what went down over on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Dr. Heavenly said that Phaedra had a whole meltdown and went to production and basically said, listen, that I'm not here to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. That happened. That's in the past. I'm not here to talk about it. I'm not talking about it. I don't want, this is a new show. Basically, this is a fresh start for me, and I don't want to do that. So the lady isn't the loose lip lady we really think she is. Oh, I agree. I agree with you 100%, Angela. And that's why I said Heavenly did what she was supposed to do. Because Heavenly told what production didn't show us. Because I know for a fact, certain things Heavenly said, I know for a fact. Because like she made it seem like she hadn't watched the show and she didn't see certain things. Girl, you do a live watch along every Sunday night. You watch the show. She said, well, I just fast forward through it because I figured y'all saw the stuff. No, you literally do a watch along. Ma'am, we know you watch the show. We're watching you on Instagram watching the show. But neither here nor there. So that's the first thing. Phaedra went to production, and once Phaedra went to production, basically production told Heavenly and the rest of the ladies, these things are off limits. You cannot ask her about X, Y, and Z. It's off limits. So that was that. She said Dr. Jackie is the one who actually opened up the door for Phaedra to come on to Married to Medicine, not Quad. So here's how, this is all according to Heavenly, how it went down. She said that Quad and Dr. Jackie ran into each other at BravoCon. They sort of hit it off. They were on a panel together or something. They sort of hit it off. Dr. Jackie was like, well, girl, what are you doing these days? Like, what you got going on? She said that, you know, Phaedra mentioned that she was dating a doctor. Dr. Jackie was like, well, you need to start hanging out with us. You know, you dating a doctor, you know, our little clique is the whole doctors and doctors' wives. You need to start hanging out with us. Jackie went to production and told production, hey, Phaedra is dating a doctor. Maybe that's a back door. Maybe we can make it happen. Dr. Heavenly said that is where the conversation started. She said, what's up, Ebs? Hey, boo. She said that I don't see Jackie hanging out with Phaedra like that. Why not? Why wouldn't you see that? They were at BravoCon. They were there together. Why wouldn't you see them? Why wouldn't you see them having lunch together or dinner together? Again, y'all can't believe people's TV persona. Y'all really think that Dr. Jackie don't let her hair down and Dr. Jackie don't shoot the shit? Y'all keep on believing people's TV personas. So anyway, now Dr. Heavenly also said that they bent the rules for Phaedra to get on Married to Medicine. And she didn't go too deeper than that, but she said bent the rules, so y'all can read into that how y'all want. She said once the Phaedra started having, once Phaedra's name started being played around with Married to Medicine, that is when Quad went to production and said, hey, that's my friend. I can get you in because Phaedra is a friend of mine, which ain't nothing wrong with that either. But what Dr. Heavenly was saying was the conversation had already started before Quad even became a part of the conversation, that production was already talking to Phaedra and had already been kicking the idea around of bringing Phaedra on the show. Now and let me say this, because somebody left a comment under my video, on my Married to Medicine video from Sunday night, basically saying that, I'm paraphrasing what they said. They were like, well, Really B, you're normally pretty fair, but your bias towards Dr. Heavenly, you clearly like her and you have a bias towards her. Let me say this. I think I was very fair Sunday night because I was like, I saw things from both sides. And honestly, I didn't like the way Quad was treated, the way what I saw in that episode. And I thought I was very fair about it. But I am going to say this. I do believe when Dr. Heavenly says stuff, I do believe her. Now, everybody don't have to believe Dr. Heavenly, and that's fine. But I believe Dr. Heavenly. Now, does that mean that Dr. Heavenly is a perfect person and she never does anything wrong? That's not what I'm saying either. But I believe that when Dr. Heavenly is telling us this behind the scenes stuff, I believe she's telling the truth. First of all, because most of the time when she says it, it usually comes to pass that it was actually true. Usually when Dr. Heavenly says something, it comes to pass later on that it was true. She just might be the first one telling it, or she might be the first one exposing it. But usually it comes to pass that Dr. Heavenly ain't lying. So I do believe Dr. Heavenly. Now, that don't mean Dr. Heavenly's perfect, and that certainly doesn't mean that she can't lie. We know that people can lie. So that's my opinion, because Dr. Heavenly is honest even when it makes her look bad. Dr. Heavenly be telling it, even when it makes her look bad. So again, I'm not saying that makes her perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I do tend to believe her. So if that makes me look biased, then I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. Quad jumped. Okay, I wrote that. Okay. So when Quad was renegotiating her contract, which we'll get more into Quad renegotiating her contract, Quad told production that Phaedra's relationship was fake, that she wasn't really dating a doctor, and that got back to Phaedra. And so that also lends to Phaedra and Quad's relationship being a little shaky, because she basically, I guess, called herself exposing Phaedra to production, and that didn't play well. Now, do we believe that Phaedra was really dating a doctor? No, but Dr. Heavenly then already told us that they bent the rules to try to bring Phaedra on the show. Now, Dr. Heavenly did say that Phaedra was really dating that doctor, but that the two of them had broken up before they even started filming, which is part of the reason why you don't see him on the show. He's just an emoji, because he never signed the release, because he never made it past the introductory type stages, because they broke up. So Phaedra was dating a doctor, but by the time they got to filming, child, that was a wrap. Okay. Now, Dr. Heavenly did say that Phaedra said, she wasn't used to the way they film. She said, because on the Real Housewives, she said everybody is late. If it's an 8:00 call time, she said we're all late. And she said, y'all don't play. Y'all, y'all get in, y'all film y'all scenes, and y'all go. She said, y'all have a hard stop. She said Phaedra told them that sometimes they be up all night filming a scene. And she said on Married to Medicine, they get in, they film, and they get out. And Dr. Heavenly was like, because we have jobs. For a lot of the Real Housewives, the ones that do work, they're entrepreneurs and they make their own schedules for the most part. Most of them, not everybody, y'all, but most of them do not have hard 9-to-5 schedules. So Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, Dr. Heavenly, they got to get up and really go to work every day. So yeah, they can't be up all night filming. They got to get in, they got to get the scene, and they got to go home, which is another issue they had with Quad, but we'll get to that in a moment. What we also did not see was Toya really went at Quad at the bridal shower. We didn't see how bad it got. That Toya really cussed Quad out, called her all kinds of names, said she was a messy bee and all kinds of stuff. And it got really bad. Toya really went off on Quad on Phaedra for bringing Quad to the bridal shower, right? Because according to Dr. Heavenly, they really did not know Quad was coming. The only person that knew Quad was coming was Phaedra. According to Dr. Heavenly, she said that's why my reaction was the way it was, because I honestly had not seen Quad and I was happy to see her. So you really did get their genuine reaction to Quad showing up at that damn bridal shower. Now remember, Quad had not filmed with them. That was the first scene Quad had filmed all season with them. And that's why I said production is setting y'all up, because production is making y'all look really bad. Now, that makes sense when we think about the fact that this trip to Napa was Toya's trip. And Quad was like, I really don't want, Phaedra, excuse me, I keep getting Phaedra and Quad mixed up. Phaedra was like, I honestly, Toya already kind of ain't effing with me. She's still feeling some kind, because, and we're going to talk about the funeral, the resurrection thing later. But Toya, it was really bad. That was really bad too, between Toya and Quad. We'll get to that in a second. That was really bad too. So with that being said, fast forward, with that being said, hey y'all, with that being said, they spent episode 1 in Quad's old house and no one saw her until this happened. We're going to get to the Quad thing. Yeah, they were in Quad's old house because they was filming with Quad's ex-husband and his new girlfriend / wife, because they married now. So that's why Phaedra was like, I don't really want to bring Quad to Napa because that's Toya's trip. And Toya already, me and Toya already had our moment at the bridal shower for me bringing Quad, and I don't want to keep being the messy one. Like she was like, I went through that on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was the messy one, and look at where it got me, and I don't want to do that again. And this is what Phaedra was telling the ladies about the whole Quad thing and bringing her to Napa. She was like, I don't want to be the one to do it. I brought her to the bridal shower. I tried to do the resurrection thing. I don't want to always be the one that's messy. Because I ain't really trying to do that on this show. I'm really trying to, bring something, do a little something different. So that made sense about why Phaedra went so far out of her way by even changing her flight to not even fly out there with Quad, because she did not want to look like she was in being the messy one or whatever. Okay. So those are my Quad notes. Now let's get into these. Dang, y'all, I'm sorry. Those are my Phaedra notes. Let's get into these Quad notes, okay? At the resurrection service, Toya and Quad, first of all, Heavenly said they was there for almost 7 hours. And it was a lot. Second of all, actually, no. I don't think they was there for 7 hours. Anyway, neither here nor there. They was there a long time. Dr. Heavenly said that Toya and Quad literally almost got into a physical altercation. Like they literally were getting ready to fight each other. That is how bad the argument between Toya and Quad got. What we saw with them going back and forth was nothing. Dr. Heavenly said that Quad said at the resurrection service, I'm just here for my check. I don't really have any type of attachment to these ladies. I don't F with them like that. I'm just here for my check. She accused Dr. Simone of knowing about her abuse. Now, I'm not sure if this happened at the resurrection or if this happened at the dinner in Napa, because Dr. Heavenly was going back and forth. But just like that 7 hours, I don't know if she was talking about the dinner in Napa. I think that's what she was talking about, the dinner in Napa being 7 hours. But she kept going back and forth. So some of these notes, I'm being honest with y'all, I'm not sure if it was Napa or if it was the resurrection. But she said that her and Dr. Simone got into a really nasty exchange because Quad accused Dr. Simone of knowing that she was being abused and not doing anything about it, and that's why she was so hurt when she saw that Simone was still friends with Gregory. Simone said she did not know that there was physical abuse until the reunion, where basically they talked about it at the reunion, and Dr. Gregory did admit that it happened. Now, Dr. Simone has been hanging out with Dr. Gregory after the reunion, so I could still see why Quad would feel some kind of way about it. But what Quad was saying was that Dr. Simone knew about the abuse before the reunion and basically didn't have nothing to say about it. And Dr. Simone was like, that is a lie. I did not know. And Heavenly said that I'm gonna stop saying doctor. I don't mean no disrespect, but I'm just gonna start saying their names. Heavenly said that by the end of the argument, Simone was able to prove that what Quad said wasn't true. That she was able to prove that when Quad told her, it was that Quad didn't tell her before the reunion. However, they went back and forth through their receipts and through their dates or whatever. Quad was lying. Now, whether Quad was purposefully lying or she misremembered, I don't know, but Quad was wrong. And she said Simone was really hurt by that because Simone was like, why would you think as your friend that that's what I would do to you? I wouldn't do that to you. All right. So here are the things. Quad is oftentimes late and shows no remorse for being late. Again, like Dr. Heavenly said, a lot of us have to get up and go to work. We have other things to do. Quad didn't, when she was doing Sister Circle, yeah, she had another job, but for the most part, Quad ain't had no job. Okay, Quad ain't had no job, and so she would show up 2 and 3 hours late and with no apologies, no remorse, and that irritated the ladies. Now, let's be clear. These are the things that Quad was doing before when she got fired. Let's be clear. Quad got fired before. And then she ended up coming back as a friend of the show. But she originally had gotten fired. And part of the reason why she got fired was because of these behaviors. So she was a friend of the show. Then she got her full-time position back and she went right back to her old habits. So again, this is repeated behavior, y'all. This isn't, she did it once and this is repeated behavior. But when she got demoted the first time or got fired the first time, these are the things that she was doing. All right. Dr. Heavenly said that Quad is disrespectful to the producers and that she has cussed out production and even Bravo executives. That Quad has showed her ass and cussed out. Now, again, some people use the word cuss out very loosely. I don't know if she literally cussed them people out or if she was just very, stern with her language. Neither here nor there. In Dr. Heavenly's vision, she was disrespectful. And Dr. Heavenly said, basically, if any of her staff talked to her the way Quad has talked to production, they wouldn't have a job. They wouldn't be working for Dr. Heavenly anymore. So whatever it was, she thought it was that. So what happened was after Quad found out that they brought Dr. G on with his new girlfriend, she wanted to renegotiate her contract, as she should have, because now you know that the majority of your storyline is going to be about your ex-husband and his new girlfriend. She absolutely had every right to renegotiate her contract. I ain't mad at Quad about that. Now that I ain't mad at Quad about. However, Dr. Heavenly said that when she finally did work out whatever, her contract was only for 4 episodes to begin with. So Quad making it seem like, they asked me to leave and Quad tweets last week made it seem like this came out of nowhere and she had no idea that she wasn't going to be on the show anymore. Like it was like she was blindsided or something, when her contract was only for 4 episodes. And like Dr. Heavenly said, your contract was for 4 episodes, but you were in 8. So let's be clear. You still got more than what you negotiated. Now, whether her negotiation was successful or not, we don't know. But what we do know is she was only supposed to be on 4 episodes. She got 8. And Dr. Heavenly's thing is you can tell that they want to work with her because they keep finding ways to keep her. The fact that they were only contractually obligated to you for 4 episodes and they doubled it, even in one episode, all they did was showing you brushing your damn hair. Like, they found a way to incorporate you into every single episode. The episode where Dr. G got married, they showed you taking a bath. Like, ma'am, they're finding a way to bring you to. And so Dr. Heavenly said in her mind, that makes her feel like they want to keep her. They want to keep her on the show. Okay. Heavenly said nobody wants to film with Quad. She said, I'm the only person that wants to even film with Quad. And if you pay attention, the only person that Quad filmed with, if it wasn't a group scene, the only people that Quad filmed with was Dr. Heavenly and Phaedra. Unless it was a group scene. Dr. Heavenly, Quad was at the bridal shower. Of course, the resurrection. And then Napa. But she didn't have any one-on-ones with anybody except for Heavenly and Phaedra. So I said, that sounds like it's true. Here's the part that did it for me. So when Dr. Heavenly said that when Quad was renegotiating her contract, she basically was throwing everybody else under the bus and it was getting back to them. Again, here's another example of production setting y'all up. There's absolutely no reason in the world why anything that was said during negotiations should have made it back to y'all. If Quad was negotiating in good faith between her and the production company, and maybe she had her attorney there or whatever, or her agent or whatever, there's no reason in the world, and I know it happens all the time, but there's no reason in the world why I was supposed to find out what was said. The fact that she threw Dr. Jackie under the bus, she said basically that she's more valuable than Jackie, and she's, basically she, well, you need to pay me more. She wanted to make more money than Jackie makes. Because she felt like she was bringing more to the show. Again, that's what a negotiation is. You supposed to come in there and think you the shit. You supposed to come in there and think that if it wasn't for you, the show wouldn't be good. Okay, So I'm not mad at her for saying these things. What I'm mad at is that production told y'all that she said these things, because again, in my mind, production is setting y'all up. And what I mean by setting y'all up to do their dirty work for them. Because with all of this being said, and the last thing that really did it for me, even Carlos had to let this one go. Even Carlos had to let it go, because Carlos was really caping for Quad. You could tell that that's his friend, and that you could tell he knew information. Because Carlos said, well, I heard that Quad did come back and film the finale because the rest of the season was born without her. Now, Dr. Heavenly said that ain't true. She said, but yeah, Quad came back. She was invited to come back to film the finale, and guess what? She was still 3 hours late. So she said the finale, we were supposed to be there at 6:30. Quad didn't show up till 10 o'clock. She said, hell, I'd already left. By the time Quad got there, I had left. So again, Quad, you were phased out, you were fired, whatever word you want to use, and they gave you an opportunity to come back and film, maybe try to redeem you, maybe try to give them a last, well, let's see if we can try to work this out. And your ass was still 3 hours late to film. You should have been the first mofo there if you wanted your job. If you were interested in keeping your job, you should have been the first mofo there. You should have been sitting in the parking lot when production showed up. That's probably why Jackie's attitude was what it was towards Quad too. Because then it got back to Jackie that Quad basically was throwing her under the bus during her her contract negotiations. Now, again, she should have never knew that information. But baby, you can't unring that bell. You can't. Once she found out, she found out. You can't unring the bell. Now, I'm about to drop the link. Something I was getting ready to say. Hey, two geeks in the nerd. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Damn, y'all. It was something I was getting ready to say before I dropped the link. It was one last thing I wanted to say. Let me make sure. Hold on. Let me look at my notes real quick. Because I knew it was something I was going to say right before I said that last part about the finale. It was something else I was going to say. Oh, well, I might think of it. Let me drop the link because I have about 20 minutes. The producers are unprofessional. Okay, you know what? Thank you, Shirley. I'm going to drop the link, but this is the last thing I'm going to say. I want to say about production. Oh, see, thank you, Shirley, because that triggered what I wanted to say about production. I'm gonna drop the link now. Again, you guys, in light of recent activities, you do not need to show your face on camera, but I do need to verify who you are before I bring you up. I'll put my banner up, and I just need you to say something before I bring you up, or you can show me your face backstage. Either way, I just need to verify that you are who you are, and you're not gonna tear up my stuff, okay? And mess up my live because we having a good live, we having a good conversation. This is what I was going to say to bring it all together. Why I say production is setting them up is because if production had shown you guys, because Dr. Heavenly said that Quad, every time they were trying to bring up why they were upset with Quad was like, well, what happened with me? I got you, Marnie. Marnie said, listen, I'm letting you know now, it's not me. You know, that Quad just kept saying, well, what about me? What about me? What about me? What about me? What about what y'all did to me? What about what y'all did to me? And she said, okay, Trina, I see you, boo. I see you, baby. She said it was exhausting. She said it was absolutely exhausting trying to talk to Quad because it was always, what about me? What about me? Then, if production had shown us the clip of Quad and Toya getting ready to fight, right? If they had shown us how bad that moment got between Toya and production, right? I mean, yeah, between Toya and Quad, if they had shown us how bad production had gotten, if they had shown us Quad and Simone arguing, I'm bringing Trina up, you guys. If they had shown us Quad and Simone arguing over over um whether she knew about the abuse or not, I think it would have painted a better picture, and it would have been more fair to the OGs who were having these conversations about why they didn't want Quad there. But the way that show was edited on Sunday, for me, the way that show was edited on Sunday, it was very unfair. In my opinion, it was very unfair to the OGs because it sounds like they had legitimate issues. Trina, what you got to say, babe?
The only thing I'm gonna say is, I'm not tit for tat, but they did
Citizen James, is that you?
yeah,
Yeah.
turn it down, turn
Okay.
it down. They did Mariah the same way. You remember in season 2 when they went on that trip and nobody wanted Mariah to come. Simone was trying to get her to come, but everybody was on Quad bandwagon saying Mariah's this, Mariah's that. So Quad got to realize Mariah did bring all those people together. Truthfully, Jackie never really seen it from Mariah anyway. And she dang sure didn't see it for Quad. They had just deal with Quad because they didn't like Mariah. And then the thing that came back was the way the Quad got off that show was the
Wait a minute, hold on. Trina, you still there, boo?
I think she dropped.
I think I lost you, Trina. Hold on. Let me bring up Nikki B. Hold on a second. Let me put the banner up. I gotta find me a different banner too, chat. I gotta find me a new banner. All right.
I like that one.
Hey, Nikki. All right.
Hey,
I didn't.
y'all.
I didn't. Hey, I didn't show you. I didn't show your face.
Hey,
I didn't. Hey, I didn't show your face. I'm the only one that saw you. So your beautiful face, girl. All right, hold on. I'm gonna. Let me read a comment, and then I'm gonna let Citizen Jane speak, and Nikki. Then you have the floor. Somebody said, it also feels like an exaggeration because Quad and Toya were very cordial at Napa, so it seems nothing bad happened. That's a lie. Nicole, what show were you looking at? Toya didn't even have a room for Quad, and then had the nerve to tell Quad, "Oh, I didn't think you was coming." And Quad's response to Toya was, "Well, you know, I had to come to get my check. I don't know what you was looking at. They didn't seem cordial to me. They seemed like they were tolerating each other, but tolerating somebody and being cordial, that's two different things." But anyway, go ahead, Citizen Jane, say your piece, and then Nikki, you got the floor, baby.
I want to know what Quad wants. I haven't been watching the show from the beginning, so I'm confused on that issue because I learned very early. Maybe Quad's never worked. I learned very early in my 20s that if you go to any job at any level and say, "I'm just here for the check," you need to be looking for another job because they will get rid of you. They
John
will
say
get,
that all the time.
especially if you verbalize it, because I've never seen anyone get kicked off an ensemble um without fighting. You know what I mean? Where everybody's like, "You gotta go. You gotta go." Usually there's some physical altercation or something extremely serious. Shoot, they didn't even get rid of Jen Shaw and other people when they've gone to jail. So I'm trying to figure out what's her end game, because why are you sitting up here telling your coworkers, if that's how you feel about them, that, "Girl, I'm just here for my check," and not expect the energy to be funky? I'm confused. Um, I don't particularly care for Toya. I think her not even having a room for Quad was real shady. I think them, didn't they stick Quad with Alicia?
Yeah, yeah.
Them sticking Quad with Alicia was, I mean, she agreed to it, but that was kind of like sketch to me too. So I'm trying to understand, what do you think her end game is? Because I don't, the only thing I've heard about Quad is early on, she people thought she was low class. I don't really get low class from her. I get other things, but low class isn't one of them. So I was just looking for some clarity on, other than the behind the scenes stuff and the stuff, the thing of accusing Toya of being, and her husband of being thieves. I'm looking past that. What has Quad done? Or is it just the behind the scenes stuff that makes these ladies dislike her so much collectively? I don't.
So to answer your question, I honestly don't think there's. I don't think that what Quad wants, I think, honestly, I don't think it's that complicated. I think that Quad just let her ego get her in a lot of trouble. I think that Quad made the mistake that a lot of people make when they become a breakout star of an ensemble, like you said, an ensemble cast, and she allowed herself to think that she was bigger than the show. And in the famous words, you know, of ain't nobody here to see you, Otis. I just think that is what she, I really think that's just what it is. I don't think that she I don't think that Quad is, I just think that's what it is. I think she just allowed herself to think that it was beyond that. And she got a warning, which a lot of people don't get when it, especially when it comes to TV. She got a warning when they demoted her the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really, they fired her the first time, and she was able to get a friend of the show job back. And then she came back, and it sounds like she came back doing the same type of stuff. Now, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that the rest of these ladies are perfect, because they're not by any stretch. But it does mean that you have pissed everybody off. And now, and again, like I said, we're not going to forget that Quad basically gave them women her ass to kiss 2 years ago with the whole sister circle thing. And like Dr. Heavenly said, she said, I do feel like I was being used, because I had not talked to Quad. I had not heard from Quad until Phaedra didn't want to bring her on the trip. She said, even after me and Quad sat down on camera and had a conversation and we apologized to each other, she said, I still didn't hear from her. She didn't call me. She didn't return any of my messages until she found out about the Napa trip and Phaedra didn't want to bring her. Then she called me to get to Napa, because again, it's all about the check. If you don't film, you don't get paid. And if you ain't on the trip, that's we all know on reality TV, that's at least 3 episodes. If you don't go on the cash trip, there's 3 episodes that cash. This is next week will be our third episode in damn Austin. They can make 3 days out of Austin. You understand? So I really think, honestly, think that's just what it is. I just think her ego got the best of her, and her pride now won't allow her to humble herself in the way she needs to. That's my opinion. Go ahead, Nikki. I'm sorry, boo. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead. What you got?
Oh no, you good. I agree with you. And back to the Temptations, they came to see the group. Okay, came to see the group. Quad is unfortunately following the footsteps of Nene Leakes, and unfortunately, she doesn't have that same brand power that Nene does. So I'm really surprised that she got more than one opportunity, to mess up. However, I feel like Quad honestly should have been fired after accusing Toya and Eugene of setting up Anila and her husband. And I say that because they fired Phaedra for starting a rumor about Candy and Todd in the dungeon, and the Cosby pills and all of that. And I feel like what Quad did was worse, because Anila's home was actually broken into. An actual crime did occur. It's not as if Portia woke up and was feeling disoriented and didn't know what was what, and then Phaedra started telling her stuff. No actual event, no crime even occurred with the Candy, Portia, Phaedra situation. A crime actually occurred with Anila's situation. So that was an open investigation.
But I
She's
want
a
to be
neighbor.
fair. Go ahead, Nikki. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, no, no. Like, she's a neighbor. She's right there. They have known beef, recorded beef. And then you have someone who knows both of these ladies on camera saying to the world, yeah, I think Toya has something to do with it. I think that Toya is the only one who can probably never forgive Quad. But Quad did this to herself. I just kind of wish that the other ladies would have let her continue to hang herself with her own rope. I don't think they really needed to step in before she was going to be let go anyway.
So I want to be fair. Quad didn't start that rumor. Quad repeated the rumor, but everybody repeated the rumor. Here's why I'm going back to production. Everybody repeated that rumor. Quad is the only one that they showed repeating the rumor. Just like last year when they showed Dr. Heavenly repeating the rumor about Quad sleeping with her contractor.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was talking about Quad sleeping with her contractor, but they repeated Dr. Heavenly talking about it. So I want to be fair that now where I think Quad made the mistake though was when she was asked about it on the reunion, she
And said,
doubled
and I'm
down.
standing on it. Yep.
Right. She doubled down at the
That
reunion.
that was the problem.
Right, I agree. Now that I do agree with. I do think that Toya and Quad could have, not now, but I do think that Toya and Quad could have made up, because hell, Toya and Anila are back friends again. And Anila was felt that Anila said the same thing. And they're friends again. So I think that had Quad and Toya been able to have a sincere conversation, and if Quad could have apologized and been very sincere in that apology, I think they may have been able to at the very least, be able to work together again. But again, it's hard when you're waiting for someone to acknowledge what they did, and they just can't take any accountability for that. Also, it kind of just, it all goes back to what I'm saying about, I feel like production is having those ladies do their dirty work instead of, because here's the thing, they don't want to be the bad guys, because remember, Quad only had a contract for 4 episodes, so she wasn't
Mm-hmm.
going to be there the whole season anyway. We didn't know that. The us as the fans, none of us knew that.
Right.
Um,
I feel
Quad
like
tried to
Quad
heel and
shouldn't have
tell
come
Toya.
back.
But what I'm saying, Nicole, I understand that, Nicole. But what I'm saying is, all of the ladies, all of the ladies were talking about the rumor. All of the ladies were talking about anyway. But that goes back to what I'm saying. Quad was never supposed to be here for the whole season. Yet production chose to write it the way they wrote it last night or Sunday night, and make it seem like these ladies got together, like they had the power to get Quad fired. And we
Right.
know that that's not the case. We know that ain't how this thing is set up. So I say that production is making them do their dirty work, because now they can say, well, the ladies wanted Quad gone.
Right. Because I do agree with you. I think you said it in one of your videos yesterday that the scene where the core four, oh God, that's so terrible. The core four, when they sat together at like the little outdoor cafe, that scene I believe did come after this Napa trip. I don't think it came beforehand.
And I wish
It's
Carlos had asked him about that, because Carlos is a producer.
he
He
knows,
knows what it looks
yeah.
like. And I believe that I was waiting for Carlos to ask about that scene, but they never. It's funny, they never did ask about that scene.
But you
Uh,
know what? Even when I was looking at it, and this is gonna sound so crazy, but you know, when they showed Toya on the airplane and she had like the really pretty waves in her hair, like the Hollywood waves in her hair when they were headed to Napa, when they
mm,
were back from the trip, her hair didn't look like it was done anymore, like she was in between hairdos. How it is
yeah,
after you come off of a trip and you know you just go ahead and straighten it back, but you
yeah.
still haven't went ahead and washed it yet. That's exactly what it is. So that's why I said that Napa trip came before that conversation with them at the cafe.
I listen until somebody tell me different. And because again, one thing about Dr. Heavenly, if you ask her, even if she don't answer, she'll answer. And I feel like if Carlos asked her point blank, Dr. Heavenly, that first scene seemed a little out of sequence. When did y'all
Mm-hmm.
film it? She might not come right out and say, well, we filmed it later, but she will say enough that you'll know the answer. And I was
Right.
waiting for because again, y'all know that I don't like Carlos doing his reviews with Dr. Heavenly. I don't like it. I don't like Carlos's input. I don't like Carlos and his soapbox, because he get there and he'll get to talking and he'll get to running his mouth. And I'll
Mm.
be like, damn, just let Dr. Heavenly talk. But I
Yeah.
do feel like last night's review, Carlos's input was helpful. And I really wish that Carlos had asked that question, because again, she may not have been able to come right out and say, well, we filmed it later, but she would have said enough to let us know what the truth was.
Yeah, I think Heavenly was genuinely hurt. It was
Mm-hmm.
dirty, 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 but that's how I know she was hurt at that table. Like I don't agree with her basically just airing it all out on at the table like that, but I understand and I'm glad she did it. I probably wouldn't do it, just because, oh, that's just so messy. Like, well, you told me that Phaedra said in the fourth, and I was just like, oh, Lord. And she was spitting it like rapid fire. And I'm like, she is not telling any lies right now. And she is hurt because unfortunately I do think I think she does have a genuine care and love for Heavenly, but it's like it's just too much drama with this group. Y'all not really my cup of tea. Y'all not my ladies like that. So I'll deal with y'all when it's filming time. And Heavenly didn't think she fell into that group. So to find out, oh, now your little buddy Phaedra is here. Now you don't need me anymore. Okay, well, let me just go ahead and air it all out since this is your attitude towards me. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad for Quad, but she did bring this on herself. But I personally, I couldn't be cool with any of those ladies, especially if you attended his wedding and you know that this man dragged me down a flight of stairs.
Let me tell you something. I ain't fooling with none of them. I'm with you. I ain't fooling with none of them. And I want to, so I'm gonna address a couple of things, and then I got to get ready to wrap it up. But I want to say this first of all. Somebody early on in the comments, and I'm sorry if you're not here anymore. I mean, if you're still here, I didn't ignore you. I want to say the one thing that Dr. Heavenly did say, and you're right, I did forget to mention this part. She said that, well, Quad did say something about her and Dr. G having physical altercation, but we didn't believe it until the reunion, which made me feel like they didn't believe Quad until Dr. G said it happened, which I think was a little effed up. If they were really her friend and she had told them that something physical was going on in that house, I do think that was effed up.
That's
I think
real messed up.
it's exactly. And I think it's effed up that they're friends with him now, to be honest with you, because again, you're sitting here telling this woman, we're not friends and you don't want to be my friend and you don't come around us. Yet and still, you one didn't believe me when I told you what was going on in my marriage. And according to what Heavenly said, and two, you have been friends with my ex all this time. Like I got a problem. I mean, I would have a listen. One thing about divorce, everybody that I know that's divorced, you somebody has to take custody of the friends. It's very hard. It's
Yeah, you
very
have to pick a side. You
it's
have
very
to.
right. It's very hard to stay friends with a divorced couple. It doesn't mean it can't happen, y'all. I'm saying it's hard. And so I can understand Quad feeling some kind of way. Now that's a fact. I can understand that. Symmetry. Also, you said about something I wanted to say. What you said that the lady said that they hadn't been together in years, but yet they're complaining to about Quad not hanging with them. I think what they were saying as a collective, like filming, like well not filming, but as a collective, because remember Quad. I mean Toya and Simone are friends in real life and hang out in real life, right? Heavenly and Jackie are friends in real life and hang out in real life. Jackie and Simone, even though they're not as close as they used to be, they're friends and they hang out in real life. Like Dr. Jackie said, she said, I mean, no, like Simone was saying, Simone, you've never invited me to your home. She said, I can show you the text messages of where I've invited you to my house for parties and cookouts and get togethers and all of these things. And you've been in your house for 3 years and you have never invited me to your home. So when you say you want, it goes both ways. That's what she was trying. It goes both ways. So
Right.
um, okay. So with that being said, you guys, thank y'all for being here. Now listen, we are getting ready to zap one over to El Teddy's house. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go anywhere. Just sit tight. I'm going to hit the button and we are heading over to El Teddy's house. Okay. Thank y'all for being here. Mwah.
Thanks, Really B. Take care, y'all.
Thank you, boo.